gentlemen, welcome to the Kahlu podcast. I'm the Psy Guy. Today we sit down for an in-depth conversation and navigate through the trials and tribulations of life's most challenging moments. Our podcast is a tapestry of human resilience, a place where laughter and stories light up even the darkest of times. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest. Anonymous, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, Anonymous. We have a podcast here that discusses trials and tribulations. We have a podcast that talks about issues, triumphs, things that are unresolved, things that people go through, things that people witness. Anonymous, what kind of trials and tribulations would you say that you've overcome or you're currently going through in life?
That's a heavy question, man. I mean, it's a lot, It's, I would say it's definitely difficult going day to day, seeing what's going on, obviously, overseas, and, people's mentality and their responses, the government's responses, the political responses.
Are you talking about the war? Talking about the war in Palestine?
Oh, yeah.
In
Gaza, for sure.
Gaza.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of folks, they see what's on the news. They see the protests. They turn on the news and they see something completely different. There's a lot of misinformation or biased information. Somebody in the States, somebody, from the outside looking in or in the middle of all of it, what do you think they're going through from a decision perspective?
Well, I mean, ultimately, if their morals and values line up with just the fabric of human civilization, you would assume that people would be on the right side of history, or at least choose the right side of history,
Absolutely.
And it's sad, to see, just so much hatred and anger and just, dehumanization going on, and
why do you think that is?
I don't know, man. Obviously it's being pushed by an agenda, a narrative that is being propagated by a regime, it's just an evil entity, bro, that whispers in the minds of peoples, and and it gets the best of people, and I don't know, it's arrogance, man. It's thinking that they're better than the next person, thinking that they're entitled, thinking that they have the right, to basically strip someone else of their rights, and their land. And, and it's just crazy, man. Look, man, when I was obviously raised here in the States, and, I was born here in the States, raised in the States, and it's crazy because, as I was growing up, you see what played out in the 2000s, in the 90s, and the only thing that we had that was connected to what was going on overseas was all the major media outlets, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, ABC, all that stuff. And all we had was television in the 90s and the 2000s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And, believe it or not, man, as I was being raised, it was a lot that I was soaking in that was their narrative, was their propaganda, and I took it for what it was. I took it at face value because that's all I had. That was the only source that was available.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy because, like, it's like the suicide bombers, this and that. Like, it was just completely unbelievable for me to know that, my heritage on my father's side, um, was possible or capable of, major atrocities and things like that. And, I believed the suicide bombers. I believed all of that. Maybe some of it was true. You know what I'm saying? But, just like you have the, what do you call it? There was that gentleman who gave his life self immolation, where he,
You're talking about
uh,
the veteran.
yes, the veteran
He lit
who
himself
killed
on fire.
himself,
Yeah.
lit himself on fire, and
I think he was yelling "Free Palestine."
this was an act of, I mean, this is just a crucial, a brutal act that, I mean, somebody giving their life because they just, I mean, who knows what's going through his mind, obviously, but he can't live with the fact that he stands for a nation, and what they stand for. He sees what's going on. He's behind the scenes. He sees it all. He sees the commands. He sees everything, and he says, "I'm not going to stand for it anymore." And so he killed himself. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear about the suicide bombers back in the early 90s, 2000s, maybe it was along the same sense. They were going through certain things that probably they could not stand. And they did the same act, but obviously it was smeared and portrayed as suicide bombers and things like that.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, maybe they had some other intentions or
Agendas.
whatnot, but,
Yeah.
and of course, hands down, any innocent life lost is tragic, it's sad, it's not right. And it's just, but the thing is like these major media outlets, they had me, like Piers always says, in a moral quandary. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like,
Yeah.
is this my heritage? Is this my people's? You know what I'm saying? And then now, you have everybody's cell phone is a source of media output.
Absolutely.
And it's uncensored, it's raw footage, it's the real thing. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is the tables have turned. And this is what they did not, um they didn't see it coming. They didn't see it coming. They didn't realize that, TikTok and these other video media outputs that are at the fingertips of every human being was going to be so powerful,
Yeah.
and it literally moved waves across the earth, man,
Hmm.
and it pushed the truth. You know what I'm saying? It pushed the truth to light, which is truly amazing. It's truly a blessing. I mean, I'm not big on social media. I'm not big on, being out there and everything like that. But and I'm not really big on social media, for the kids, for the future and stuff like that. But this, allowed for the truth to be set free, man, and to not let one entity be in control of the story. You know what I'm saying?
And it's almost like a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
You
It
know.
is, man. And what's so crazy is like I feel like, it has me really thinking about everything that I've been taught, everything that I've learned throughout school, throughout the history books that were fed to me and taught to me in school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that they continue to lie and the double standards that are going on, and just watching it unfold before your eyes. and the politicians and the leaders of the most powerful nations just sit here and lie to your face, bro. Lie to your face so openly, so explicitly, so just unforgiving,
There's no shame anymore. Yeah.
unmerciful, like no mercy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it makes you think, and it makes you wonder if what we were taught, if any of it is actually true, or is it the same narrative that was played out where they simply erased human beings and erased their stories and erased their history and simply rewrote all of it. You know what I'm saying? And to be in their favor them over other civilizations. It's crazy, man. It is sad. It's truly a blessing. And then what's so crazy is like you have these politicians, you have these people who are supposed to be the leaders of the world, okay? They're supposed to set moral examples, okay? And these individuals are sitting in their leather seats in their chairs, and they're making decisions about banning TikTok, a social media outlet, okay, that has freed the minds, freed the world, freed the people, okay? And they are talking about banning that, but they can't even get together and stop a genocide from happening. You know, where are your values? Where are your human ethics, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, come
You know,
on, man, you
you brought
know?
up a good point. If like let's change the variables up. Instead of saying, you know, it's a government agency and it's a company like a social media company like TikTok, let's call it somebody that's doing something bad and somebody that has the truth, right? Instead of stopping doing something bad, I'm going to do everything I can to eliminate the possibility of the truth coming out. It's a control scheme, right?
Exactly.
Or stop the ability to control or open up or lessen the control that we already have. Because
You're right.
if every outlet is currently being bought out and controlled, then there's this one that we can't seem to get our grips on. And another problem is it's a younger population. People who know the
Oh
truth are
yeah,
going to grow up, and that's an even bigger problem. You know, you see
right.
these younger individuals, students, the
And that's who
encampments
they're
that are
going
happening.
after.
They cannot have it stand. It just can't
Mm-hmm.
be. This is you know, the endowments that are in these universities are in the billions. You know,
Oh yeah,
and they have all this money, right? And all the power that comes with that money, all the lobbying that comes with that money.
yeah.
And if the students are getting arrested for protesting, right?
What's so crazy, man, is like you got people who are standing up, future leaders of this nation. You got future leaders of the world. You got people who are, you know, up and coming to be leaders and who want to voice what's right, man. And they're shutting them down, bro. Like, where are the liberties that America has been founded on? Where are the liberties? What, look at what America is becoming. You know what I'm saying? Like the freedom of speech is being barred so bad that, you know, you can't even say anything. They want to sit here and smear everything to be anti-Semitic when it's not anti-Semitic to disagree with a person's actions. Do you
Correct.
understand?
Yeah.
You know, there's a difference between being prejudiced or racist to a certain identity, to a certain person, okay? But it's different when somebody conducts certain behaviors and then I call you out on that behavior.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not being anti-Semitic by talking about your behavior, by talking about your response, by talking about how you're acting. If you're acting in error, if you're acting in wrongfulness, if you're doing something that is, you know, gonna hurt someone else, and I'm telling you, hey man, don't do that. Or hey
Yeah.
man, that's not right. I'm not being anti-Semitic. I'm voicing what's right, what's real. And then
Correct.
and then what's so crazy is like they sit here and they say things like we have the most humane army in the world. Okay, we sit there and we notify people to evacuate the building before we bomb it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever,
Yeah.
or we let you know that we're gonna bomb. That's like me telling you I'm gonna punch you in your face, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna punch you in your face, and I'm letting you know that, and I'm gonna punch you in your face. Bam, I'm gonna hit you, okay? And then all of a sudden, nah, bro, what you mean you can't retaliate? Nah, you can't retaliate. I told you I was gonna hit you in the face. What are you like? What are you doing retaliating against me? Like, are you serious? Like, how is that? I'm not
International
condoning
laws are supposed to protect that.
retaliation.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you know, and like, bro, on the international law, that's like a whole nother
There's no
topic
accountability.
of
Yeah.
discussion. Yeah, the accountability
It's a
is
joke.
not there.
Yeah.
It's not there. You know, and that's not right. And without accountability, you can forget humanity. You can
You have
completely forget it.
lawlessness, and with
Yeah, of complete
lawlessness,
loss. It's literally a
you have a
purge.
purge.
It's literally a
Absolutely.
purge that's going down. You know what I'm saying? Like literally when you watch the movie The Purge and it's so crazy, like that's literally what's happening. You got illegal settlements, people who live in illegal settlements, okay, who are given guns, AR-15s, given weapons, who have hatred in their hearts, who are born and who are trained and who are grown up, and hatred is instilled in them from
Day
their
one.
young
Yeah.
childhood, growing up through their schools and their school systems to hate Arabs. It's not just
Yeah.
Palestinians.
I've seen
It's
the
not
videos.
just
Yeah.
Palestinians.
Yeah.
They hate
They start chanting it.
Arabs,
Yeah.
Arabs.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what's so crazy is this is racism. This is anti-Semitism. This is attacking a person for who they are.
I understand, but eventually people who are fed up are going to want to fight back. What happens when they do fight back?
They are fighting back for their freedom against occupation, against a behavior that has been going on against them for 75 years. Okay? They're not killing a person because of because they're Jewish. They're not going after a person because they're Jewish. No, they want food. They want rights. They want freedom. They want they want a simple act of going down the street without being interrogated, without being pulled to the side, being bullied,
Checkpoints.
being the checkpoints. I, I haven't been overseas, and I don't know if I can go overseas because if I witness that, if I see that, God forbid, it's just I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can take it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just it's not right, bro. It's not right. You know what I'm saying? And people want look. I wouldn't be surprised if many of the people in Gaza and the West Bank would be completely fine, even with a one state solution, as long as they're treated as human beings and are given their freedom and their rights as every person that has the right and the freedom to live a peaceful life.
But it seems like that's not the narrative. That's not the goal.
Oh, no, 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 no,
Because
no,
that
no.
happened in South Africa. That happened in the United States. We had the civil rights movement, right? Martin Luther King protests, and years
Oh,
Jim Crow
yeah.
laws, and eventually reform came out. And still, there's racism, but it's not even close to where it was. Eventually, you'll get there.
No.
The question I have for you, Anonymous, is: do you think there's going to be a time where the Palestinian people, where the lobbying and the money that's flowing into governments, the people that are getting bought out to get their vote, right? Do you think there's going to be a time where the moral shift occurs in this nation or globally, right? The United
I
States,
hope so, man.
I mean, I don't, the thing is, I don't see it. I
No,
don't
no, no,
see it.
I definitely don't see it. I'm gonna tell you
Not
one
in our
thing, man.
lifetime.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, and that's why this is bigger than me and you. This is bigger, and this is why I'm actually saying something and I'm actually speaking because I want to do something and I want to say something and I need to get something off my chest because this is bigger than me and you. This is bigger than everybody that's out here. This is humanity. This is humanity. This is what it's about. It's bigger than Palestine and it's bigger than Israel. It's bigger than you and me. It's bigger than everything. This is about humanity, bro. And inalienable rights that people deserve, okay, as a human being. All right. And
Yeah,
and and this is why it needs to be spoken about, and this is why it needs to be given. And the saddest thing is, and the craziest thing is that it ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop until there's freedom given. Because I'm gonna tell you, there's people that are over there at those colleges that got nothing to do with what happened overseas, that are suffering right now, that are getting beaten, that are getting brutalized,
absolutely.
that are getting arrested, that are getting pesticides sprayed around them, on
Yeah,
them,
poison.
that are getting mice that are injected with things, and backpacks being thrown with the mice running around in these encampments. Okay, these are people that are human beings, that are American citizens, that have nothing to do with Palestine and Israel as far as their upbringings, as far as their whole livelihoods, their lives. Okay, got nothing to do with that, and they're sacrificing their time, their efforts, and because they know it's bigger than us. They
Mm,
know it's bigger than everything. They know it's about humanity. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
it's the freedom of human beings and the freedom. They're trying to control
Everything.
all of us,
I was gonna say everything.
everything.
The news,
You
the
know,
people,
it,
the
everything.
corporations, the food. I mean, it's gotten even down to the food. I mean, it sounds like, and I want to circle back around to the first thing that you mentioned. Everything is controlled, and I feel like the only way you hear the truth, just like advertising and marketing, the best kind of marketing is word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
Until you see and hear the firsthand response of the conditions. Because I mean, on the news, you'll say that you'll hear one-sided rhetoric, but then on the other hand, you'll go to a different news outlet and they'll tell you that every single university in Gaza was bombed. Maybe that's
Oh
why
my
all the
goodness, bro.
universities. Well, maybe that's why universities encampment started at universities, because when the truth came out that they bombed every single university that ever existed in Gaza, in Palestine, that probably hit a note with
Yeah,
some
man.
folks. You know.
For you to have a leader of a nation come out and try to condemn what's going on in the United States with the colleges and things like that, man. And if you got the leader coming out and saying words out of his mouth after he has destroyed all of the colleges and universities, but you want to go and condemn some people that are speaking up and voicing what's real and what's right.
Yeah.
And you have no grounds, absolutely
Zero
no
credibility.
grounds and zero credibility to open your mouth and say anything about the universities, about any university, period.
We're slowly running out of time here. I wanted to ask you, Anonymous. It sounds like the current the media outlets, the realities of what we're seeing, the realities of what we're seeing locally, the response from our government, and how it's being handled is terrifying, because
It's laughable, man.
it, it,
It's
it's
disgustingly laughable,
disgusting,
bro.
but at the same time, this is a foreign affair that we're protesting. What's going to happen if it was domestic?
You know what's so crazy, man, is like the government of the United States has done so much for other nations in the world, more than it has done for its own nation itself. What's so crazy is you got so many people that are suffering here in the United States, homelessness on the rise, people losing their jobs. You got corporations that have been constantly moving things overseas, just chasing the dollar and cutting expenses. Okay. And
Yeah.
that's obviously who's going to suffer at that is the human people. I mean, the
It's the
American
tax
people.
dollars,
Okay.
taxpayers.
All right. The tax dollars. You know what I'm saying? And they have done absolutely nothing but open the borders and let people in. Okay. I understand people want a better life. I understand that. But at the
Yeah,
same time, it threatens everybody that's here. It threatens everyone that's here.
absolutely.
Um, and the Democrats, they say, oh, look at unemployment is at the lowest rate possible. Yeah, because you guys are letting people flood the borders, come into the borders, and you're giving them jobs and everything like that. So you're making the numbers look good. You're making the numbers look good, but in actuality, in reality,
Yeah,
it's the quality of life is diminishing You got homelessness just on the rise, outrageous, bro. The cost of living is outrageous. It's outrageous, man. Fuel constantly going up. You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying?
absolutely.
And
I mean,
man,
to your point, anonymous. If it takes just a certain amount of money to buy a government, because that's what it is, right?
oh yeah,
Few
of
few
course.
corporations are buying lobbyists.
Lobbying
Absolutely,
should be illegal. Lobbying should be banned entirely. Okay. When a politician sits a seat in office, he should not be allowed to receive any fundraising. He should not be allowed to establish a fundraising organization or an organization that is able to receive funding from any outside corporation or company. They should be banned from that. They should be at the same time their investments, whatever stocks that they may have or whatever investments they may have, when they take a seat in that office, all of that should be halted. Their buys, their sells should be halted. And what this will do, this will position a person in power to simply do what they need to do to represent the people. And that's another thing, man. You got politicians that are in office that don't even represent the people that they are elected to represent.
they don't even do
You
their
know,
job.
I
Yeah,
got I got senators, I got senators in the North Carolina, home like
House
representatives
of
in North
Representatives.
Carolina
Yeah,
that don't even listen to the people. I've written them letters. I've written them letters, and I've gotten return letters that are just disgusting, man. It's truly disgusting. They stand behind a nation because they're bought. They're paid, they're bought politicians. That's what they are. And they stand behind the nation and they represent that nation. If you ask me, that is treason. That is treason upon the United States. That is treason upon the people who are here that are paying tax dollars, that is my tax dollars, that are going to fund a genocide. Okay, that my elected officials are not listening to the people that put them in those seats that got voted on. You know,
treason in the United States
that's
is
treason,
punishable
bro.
by what? How do they punish treason
I don't.
in the United
That's
States?
a good question. I really don't know. I know it's imprisonment. You know what I'm
Nope,
saying?
nope.
And what is it?
It's by death, execution.
Really?
Yes. If you
Wow.
if you commit treason to the United States, they will kill you.
They're motivated and in movement to support another government. They're getting paid to unlimited funding towards another government, another establishment of our tax dollars that we work each and every day for, to a nation that has paid for health care. And you got people that are here and veterans that are here that have fought for the freedoms and the nation of the United States of America that have been thrown to the side and thrown to the curve with just limited health care that they suffer for. You got elderly people that have been complaining about the cost of healthcare going out the roof, and their subsidized income, their social security income has not increased. Their food that they buy at the local market has increased. Their rent, their has
It's
increased to
unsustainable.
where
Yeah.
it's unsustainable. You know what I'm saying? You got people that are older that are becoming homeless, because they can't afford to live anymore,
Yeah.
you know? And our tax dollars, and we're talking billions of dollars that could be reinvested in the United States to continue to grow and make it the nation that they claim to be, the superpower of the world, okay, that can be reinvested in it. And these politicians take that money and they dish it out to other nations.
It's very disgusting. Um,
Yeah, man. It
and
is, man, to
if
fund the genocide, man. And
absolutely,
we have people. I know somebody who's a doctor, God bless his heart, man, for leaving the comfort of their home, the comfort of simply going to the refrigerator and dispensing a cup of ice water, you know, to leave the comfort, Dr. Azim, man. And brother, he left his family, he left his lifestyle here to put his life in danger, to go overseas, to go help those in need that have been, I mean, you see it, bro. You see it all day long. You see it
yeah,
on the social media. You see the atrocities. You see the kids, okay? You see everyone that's over there that is suffering, and he put his life in danger to go and help. May God bless his heart and multiply his rewards. And, these are the true heroes. You know what I'm saying? These are the real heroes. What he saw, what he experienced, he's going to share it. He's going to share it with the world, with whoever is going to come to his he's got an event going on here in Charlotte on May 12th.
it's called Imana Eid Gaza, so it's on Mother's Day. Spend Mother's Day in a meaningful way. Join us for an insightful event featuring the doctor here. Awesome.
Dr. Azim Alahi.
Is it
Yeah,
Azim or
man.
Awesome?
And
Azim. Okay. So it sounds like they're going to talk about his. It looks like there's multiple
his
volunteers that went out there.
Yeah. There was 4 doctors that left from Charlotte area or the United States. I can't say if all of them were from the Charlotte area, but they all left the comfort of their home, the freedoms, the liberties that they have here so freely, so taken for granted,
Yeah.
to go over there and put their lives in danger to help those that are in need. May God bless their hearts, man.
And if they
And
want to attend May 12th, Hilton Charlotte Airport from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's all in the
yes,
Coliseum
yes,
Center. It's a fundraising dinner. It's Mother's Day. Get your mother, take her out,
support,
and hear
you
it
know,
firsthand. Hear it firsthand, and that's what you won't see. You will not see this on the news.
you won't,
You won't see it
you
anywhere
won't,
else. This is
you won't.
first-hand accounts. So, yeah, folks. Anonymous, this is wonderful. We discussed the trials and tribulations of finding the truth, and not just the truth what we see, but the truth of what's in our heart. We talked about treason. We talked about sitting dormant and watching an atrocity unfold, the trials and tribulations of being complicit, and the things that just don't sit well for us as human beings, and the things that we need to do to go in there and make it right. Anonymous, you've
Thank
been
you.
wonderful. Of course,
I
like
appreciate it.
like always, we'd love to have you on anytime,
Thank you.
and thank you for joining.